What is up, guys? Welcome back to another man versus deer video. In today's video, we're talking all about saddles and how to hunt them. Let's jump into it.
What a roller coaster of a season it has been. She came in downwind and actually winded me.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you like the video, make sure that you comment before you go, and make sure that you smack that subscribe button. This video is actually all about saddles. We're gonna break down what a saddle is and how to hunt it. If you don't know what a saddle is, I recommend you check out this video here. I'm actually in the middle of a series called the Terrain Series that breaks down the most common terrain features you're going to encounter when you're hunting white-tailed deer and how to hunt them. The video I just linked is an overview. It tells you a little bit about those features and how to find them on topographical maps. The other videos that follow it, like this one, break down those features individually and we discuss the best ways to hunt that specific feature. This video is going to be about saddles. Alright, so to kick things off, I'm going to talk about why deer kind of like and use saddles. We're going to talk about what they look like and give you a brief overview of them, and then we'll jump into how to hunt them. A saddle is basically a low spot in between two higher spots. It looks just like it sounds if you've ever seen a saddle sitting on a horse, right? It can be where a low spot that connects two ridges. It can be a low spot in a ridge itself, but it's a low spot that connects two high spots, usually on some kind of ridge line. Deer like these for a couple of reasons. One, if they're cruising that ridge line and they want to go from one side to the other, or they want to go from one ridge to the other, it gives them a low, sheltered, protected spot to do that. They can cross from one ridge to the other, or one side of the ridge to the other, without being detected. And that's especially true with cruising bucks. You got one of these places scouted out and you hunt it during the rut, and you're going to see bucks utilizing these while they're cruising for does. The second reason is the wind. The wind is going to do some tricky things inside of these saddles. It makes it really hard to hunt if you hunt anywhere close to where that low spot is. And that's because the wind is going to bounce and swirl around those two high points. It's going to hit the middle point and do funny stuff, and thermals come back into play too. Your thermals are going to be rising from two different directions in a saddle. So it basically is just one big swirl, and you never know what it's going to do on the inside. That effectively lets those deer cross there and smell any threat that may be in the surrounding area from, any number of given directions on any day. So the wind is definitely in a deer's favor in the middle of these saddles, and so it makes them a good point for deer to cross from point A to point B safely. One, without being seen, and two, while being able to smell everything. Alright guys, so we're going to talk about how to hunt a saddle now. That's the main topic of the video, and we're gonna get that going. And this can be tricky because, like we said earlier, the middle of those saddles can be like death traps for wind. But a saddle, most of the time, especially when we're talking about hunting whitetail deer or whitetail bucks, is going to be on a ridge line. When we identify one we want to hunt, it's more than likely going to be in high timbered terrain. And anytime you have a ridge line, the travel on it, whether it be rut activity or just daylight activity, is usually going to happen on the leeward side. So what I like to do is I like to scout these things, and I like to find the heaviest, the trail that has the heaviest use on it, and then I wait for a wind that is beneficial for me to hunt that trail, which is going to be a wind that puts that trail on the leeward side. So I'm going to throw that topo image up here so you guys can follow along with me, and I'll kind of break down how I would set up a stand under this scenario. So say I've scouted this particular saddle, and I found a super heavy use trail that runs on the bottom side of this. I would then wait for a wind that's going to blow right over the top of this ridge, and I would set my stand downwind of that trail, but still within shooting distance of it. A big factor here is going to be how stiff that wind is, because natural thermals are going to be rising throughout the day. And obviously I don't want my scent going back to that trail. So it's going to be a part of my battle plan to wait for a stiff enough wind that's going to counteract those thermals, or at least slow them down, to where I can still get a shot off. But that's basically in a nutshell how I hunt a saddle, guys. I back off away from the low part in that saddle that the deer are going to be crossing through, and I wait for them to come out of the saddle towards me or to be moving to this saddle. And that way I'm not at risk of that wind swirling around and getting the deer alert. A big part of that is making sure that you're on the right trail. There's probably going to be trails on both sides of that saddle. You got to do a good job scouting and make sure that you're sitting on the right side. But if you do those things, these things can be super productive, especially during the rut. Bucks love to use these things to move from one ridge to another, or one side of a ridge to another. Just super good hot spots for cruising activity. So that's pretty much the end of the video, guys. I hope it helped a bunch of you out. If it did, make sure you like the video, consider subscribing to the channel, and definitely drop any questions you have in the comments below. There is 3 other terrain videos that launch before this one. They're going to be in that terrain series playlist, and there's going to be about 5 more launches, so make sure that you stay on the lookout for those. I appreciate you guys watching the video today, and I will catch you in the next one.